Now, contrary to popular belief, one of the things I enjoy the most is admitting that I got something wrong. For instance, after the mess he made of A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I little expected that I'd ever be giving an award to Garth Jennings. But then he made the terrific Son of Rambo, a genuinely heartfelt and grown-up kids' movie that delighted audiences young and old, and made Jennings the proud recipient of this year's Kermode Award for Best Screenplay.
Best Screenplay.
I've come to save you, Rambo! We need to leave here right now, before the evil scarecrow finds us.
Oh, what about my tea?
Oh, son. It's like a prison with them lot marching in and out every 5 minutes, shouting at you, turning you over while you're trying to sleep. Eat your food, they say.
I'm thrilled to get this. Thank you very much. I didn't think you'd just have anything nice to say to me after the last time I saw you when I told you to f*** off.
You obviously made a complete cobblers of Hitchhiker's Guide, and then you've totally redeemed yourself with Son of Rambo.
Am I allowed to swear at you?
You are.
Off.
Yes.
How about that? Yeah. I'm really proud of Son of Rambo, and the script really wouldn't have come out as well as it did if I hadn't been helped by Ruth McCants and Nick Goldsmith, the producer. And really, I should really thank the two people that brought it to life, who are Bill Milner and Will Poulter, my two lead actors. I'm on top of the world!
Perhaps the gravest oversight at this year's Oscar nominations was the absence of Gomorrah, which failed to even get longlisted for the foreign language film category. It's one of those omissions which you just know will become even more embarrassing as the film grows in stature and reputation for its savagely unglamorous portrait of Naples' criminal underworld. So realistic is the film that writer Roberto Saviano, on whose book the film was based, has had to go into hiding from the mob. But the Culture Show met him to present him with the Kermode Award for Best Foreign Language Film for Gomorrah.
Best Foreign Film.
Vado? Nulla, sono contentissimo di aver avuto questo strano Oscar, questo Oscar bizzarro, e ne parlerò anche ai ragazzi che hanno fatto il film, che insomma saranno secondo me più felici dell'Oscar americano, e insomma grazie davvero, spero mi porti fortuna.
Come ti chiami?
Luigi.
Luigi? E che tiene paura lui?
No.
Sicuro?
No.
Guarda vedere. Sei forte tu? Sì?
Oh, mangio forte.
E fammi vedere quando sei forte, eh? Vai.
And so, to the biggies, Best Director and Best Film. Now, against all the odds, it seems very likely that on Oscar night, Danny Boyle is going to triumph with the wonderful Slumdog Millionaire, although there's still an outside chance that this Anglo-Indian stormer will get trumped by the meretricious Hollywood hooey of Benjamin Button. But here at the Kermodes, there's only ever been one contender for Best Film of 2008. The director is a true cinematic poet, and this Liverpool childhood memoir is my favourite film of the year. The Kermode Awards for Best Director and Best Film go to Terence Davis for Of Time and the City.
Best Film and Best Director.
Well, it's very, very wonderful to win both awards, Best Film, Best Director, but really a director doesn't do it on his own. There are many people who are at the back of me, and I have to accept these awards on their behalf as well. Thank you very much.
All of which brings us to the last award of the night, the Fellowship of the Kermodes, the highest honour a filmmaker can achieve. This year's winner is a true visionary whose films have ranged from sci-fi fantasy to farce to twisted childhood fable. With the cult classic Brazil, he gave us a dystopian vision of the battle between imagination and reality. In 12 Monkeys, he straddled the divide between comedy and tragedy.
Very few of us here are actually mentally ill. I'm not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon.
And in Tideland, he conjured a cross between Alice in Wonderland and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You love Dickens. No, I don't.
The Fellowship Award.
The winner of this year's Kermode Fellowship Award, Terry Gilliam. Congratulations.
Victory! Victory! Yes! Thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now, first things first, the thing everyone wants to know is, you've been completing work on Heath Ledger's last film, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Just tell us where you are with that and what we can expect from it.
The film that is, as it is now, is the result of Heath and his death, because he put us in a situation that was just impossible. Halfway through a shoot, your star dies. And what do? Do you stop at that point? Do you give up? And I was certainly willing to do so, but everybody around me said, no, you've got to find a solution. And that's why eventually we came up with this idea of three other actors playing his character. It's been a long, painful process, but it was important that we made a good film for Heath so that his last performance was as spectacular and the film around it was as good as it should be.
And is it correct that the film is going to be credited as a film by Heath Ledger and friends?
Yeah, it's, one of the producers was saying, no, it's a Terry Gilliam film. I said, sorry, mate, this one really is Heath Ledger and friends.
I said in the introduction to this award that, you know, there is an adjective, Gilliam-esque, and I know exactly what I mean by that. Are you aware of there being a Gilliam-esque style? And if you are, what are your own influences?
I don't know what the style is, because I can't see what it is that I'm doing that's different than anybody else, to be honest. People like Spielberg are like encyclopedias about films, and Scorsese, they know every shot that ever has been put on celluloid. I don't. I just go to films like a punter, and I just absorb it and then try to make things. But I think films are really about what they do to you at certain ages of your life. As a kid, you know, Disney, boom. A bit later, it was Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. Then I discovered the foreign filmmakers, and each of those moments have been the things that have impacted